Project Hail Mary is out in theaters on Friday, and it is amazing. It was a blast. I had so much fun with this movie. And for the fact that this is a big space epic, they can be dry, they can be lots of different things. This is an amazing movie. It is such a great popcorn epic. It's the kind of movie you have to see on the big screen. The bigger, the better. And there is a lot to talk about here. I was a fan of Andy Weir's work for The Martian. I read that book. I saw the movie, loved everything about it. I haven't read this book, so I don't know the source material, and I'm looking forward to reading it now because I wanted to see the movie first. I'm one of those people, and then read the book. But I will say, just as a standalone science fiction film, this is as good as, big popcorn movies get. It is phenomenal. I sat down, didn't know anything that was going to happen, tried not to know too much, and walked out very happy. But I also know people who were big fans who read all the books and saw everything and loved it too. So I think this is going to be a crowd pleaser, and it's great from the very beginning. You have this great opportunity with Ryan Gosling in everything. I feel like he approaches everything with such great style. He knows how to inhabit these characters, and as Grace, this would-be hero who doesn't really want to be a hero, he is perfect. The story is basically that Earth is going to die, and that's because the sun is being blotted out by this form of life that is basically taking over the sun and basically killing it off. And Earth really doesn't know what to do. They come up with a plan that is basically to investigate further because they've found one sun out in the solar system, out in the universe that is okay. And they don't understand why this one sun is the one that isn't being blotted out by this life form that's destroying everything. So they send him out, and that's the journey that we're on, basically, as the audience. And it is amazing. It is such a fun ride. It is the best of kind of all the space stories that we've ever seen because it is funny. Ryan Gosling has a way of bringing levity to scenes that would otherwise be very straight and boring. He brings life to every moment. And his co-star, which, some people said was ruined from the books, but it's been all over the place, that Rocky is this alien that he encounters, who is actually a puppet in the film, which is very cool because not all the scenes are puppeted, but basically a lot of them are. And there is a life to Rocky in the film that is totally unique, and you can kind of feel that sense of that people have brought him to life for this film, and works exceedingly well. Just beautiful interactions, beautiful moments between these two characters, fully formed characters that have their own lives and personalities and everything behind them. I love everything about that. It feels like a space epic. It feels fun, inviting, easy to understand. It's not a science fiction film where you're going to feel like you've been left behind after the first 10 minutes. Everything is easy to understand and makes sense, whether you love science or kind of come at it begrudgingly. Everything works. The only thing that I found interesting is that coming into this, I've heard people call it like a space epic, like one of the masterpieces. I have a hard time with that. I'm going to draw the line and say that when I think of a masterpiece in science fiction, I think of Interstellar. I think of 2001: A Space Odyssey. There is a level of depth and storytelling that is a notch beyond what this film is. And it's not to say this film isn't great. It's just to say that it's not what I would call a masterpiece. It is going to be one of the great films of the year. It's going to be enjoyed by a lot of people. The film doesn't have the same level of drama that I would say has to be present, the same level of filmmaking even that has to be present for a masterpiece. But everyone is going to walk away from this film having had a blast. And that's, to me, the bottom line of a great popcorn epic. And it nails that in spades. The performances are just stellar throughout. The effects are beautiful. The style, the cinematography, everything pops. Between Andy Weir's novel, which is obviously fantastic, even if I haven't read it, I know from so many people that it's obviously a fantastic novel. And then you've got Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, who are amazing creators, their work over the years between TV and film, all of it is really a body of work that I adore. So seeing their emotion that they brought to the story and everything else, it's really impressive. And the fact that it's such a big project, it feels like a big film, it feels like a big adventure. And that's something that's tough to pull off. And I will say that there's not a huge cast here. There are quite a few cool people, but I mean, the person who really stands out in this cast otherwise, obviously beyond Ryan Gosling and Rocky, is Sandra Hüller, who is just an amazing actress. But beyond being a great actress, she sings in this film, and it is an iconic moment in this movie. It lifts the bar for the entire movie. If nothing else, you walk away from being wowed. I think you're going to be wowed by that moment with her. She has a phenomenal voice, and the depth of what she brings to that scene and what the song kind of means in that moment, it's amazing. So yeah, bottom line, I'm going to say it's not a perfect film. It doesn't have to be. I will say that it's one of the best things that I've seen in months, and it's one of the most fun times I've had in a movie theater. Even for the length of it, I do wish it maybe was a little shorter, but yeah, it's a blast. You're going to love it. Enjoy. Once you see it, let me know what you thought. I'd love to hear anything that you thought about, especially if you've read the book. Maybe you come at it a little differently than I am. And thank you very much for watching.